record it. Utility means power generation. So the power generation can be from this power generation can be from conventional. Okay, conventional would include all the thermal power plant is a conventional power plant. Okay, then your hydel is also conventional. Then your nuclear is also one conventional. Okay, so or it can be unconventional like battery to like vehicle to grid. So they have different set of formats, and what it does is that uh, this Zigbee device forms and aligns. Zigbee
Forms an
device
alliance.
forms and aligns between various power players, between various power players, and it is called as Zigbee. It is called as Zigbee Alliance. So IEEE of late has like taken all this in IP format, Internet Protocol format, and given it a certain protocol for this alliance. So this Zigbee Alliance is the definition of what are called application profiles. Okay, so
Okay.
this Zigbee Alliance, okay, defines the various application, like various application profiles. So various application would mean if there is energy deficiency, if energy deficiency is there, if energy deficiency deficiency is there, then it will be from, see, if there is energy deficiency, like, okay, then you have to extract, then you have, if the grid is deficient in energy, then you have to extract this from load to source. So here load to source would mean load can represent your electrical vehicle batteries, electrical electrical vehicle batteries, and source would be the grid itself. Battery and source would be the grid itself. Okay, now vice versa. If you have energy surplus, in
Yes,
case
sir.
of energy surplus, so grid is having nice stock, energy surplus is there. In that scenario, what you can do is that you can charge your batteries with the help of grid. So in that case, it will be from source to load. Source would be, again, source is not changing. You see, source is the grid only. The load here would be your, okay, the electrical vehicle batteries. So
Yes, sir.
electrical vehicle, okay, batteries are are getting charged here, are getting charged, right? They are getting
Yes, sir.
charged here. In this scenario, if you look, these batteries are supplying. So batteries will get discharged, right? And grid
Yes,
will
sir.
grid will supply this energy to other loads, and other loads which are represented by your load buses. Okay, load
Right,
buses,
sir.
that will be P plus JQ. Okay, these buses which supply your active and reactive power. So now in order to do all these applications, so there are this developers and all that thing. So the primary thing is that developers would create and interpolate it. There would be creation and interpolation of these messages for distributed applications. Okay, whereas
Yes, sir.
distributed applications, okay, these distributed applications would represent distribution to an hospital, distribution to a local, like apartments, to stores, to commercial. Okay, so this
Yes, sir.
distributed, because we need for local industries and all that, so we should know the power flow. So this represents the distributed application, which will be employing application entities that reside on separate devices, because, okay, not on the single device. all the applications would remain. So see, in this format, the Zigbee would, what it does, that it consists of a smart energy profile. Okay, which is of prime importance in case of the smart grid. So it helps the generation and transmission of energy in an efficient way, and this particularly is achieved by the primarily the information flow between the devices. So what are the devices? So Zigbee, how does it do is, how this Zigbee makes the devices smart is how it does. Can I take the next slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what?
Sir, one second, sir. One second. Okay. Sir, one
Yeah.
second. Wait, just I'll see.
Yeah.
Type
Yeah.
the last one.
Hmm. Hmm. Take it down.
Yes, sir. Sir, what the reason? If energy deficiency is
See, if there is energy
yes,
deficiency in
sir.
the sense, and when will energy deficiency take place? If the grid
If
is
demand
not,
is more,
if the demand is more and supply is less.
yeah, correct.
In that scenario, you have an additional source available. Electrical vehicle is available. The vehicle
Oh,
or any other source is connected with the conventional grid, like your solar panels, electrical vehicles. See, wherein you have DC sources that are connected with the grid with the help of the power electronic converters. Usually, the energy cannot be stored inside the AC grid. Energy can be only stored in the batteries. But this energy, which can be stored in the batteries, can be supplied back to the grid, can be given back to the grid with the help of power electronic converters using
okay, okay.
two
So
quadrant
what you were
type
saying
switch op.
yesterday, basically, right?
Huh?
What you were saying yesterday, basically,
Huh?
of charging or yeah.
No, yesterday I was just giving you a brief intro. Today I'm
Okay.
explaining you the entire part. So it will then how it will happen is by charging. So that is the part. So what it will do is it will supply from battery to grid. Okay.
Okay.
It will supply from
Sir,
battery.
sir, one second,
Yeah.
sir. So, sir, when due to energy deficiency, if it comes from load to source, uh,
Hmm.
since initially it is using normal thermal hydro nuclear, that's called using through conventional. So, is this
Hmm.
unconventional type of power this thing, generation?
No, this is not unconventional. This is integrated type of generation. This is heterogeneous type of generation. Heterogeneous type of generation amalgates various energy sources. It see, in a normal conventional system also, you can add energy by using
Hmm.
sufficient amount of power electronic converters, so that it
Ah,
can see, in normally in a country like ours it is not possible. In Malaysia, they have a
okay,
bid that is going on. They install solar panels. The government only comes and install solar panels on their rooftop. You check in the
okay,
internet, okay? And
yeah, I'll
what
check it
it
out.
does is, it is supplying this energy from their rooftop. Not only they are giving relaxation to their energy bill, but they also get paid. Those people who are cooperating with the government, it's for 4 5 year contract, so they also enjoy money. So what they do is that this solar energy, what they have installed at their rooftop, is being also supplied to the grid. When there is otherwise, what will happen if the demand is more and the load and the generation is less? Then there would be load shedding. And
Ah,
in our country also,
yeah,
if you
and
look,
then that will cause people inconvenience. Yeah,
yeah, that will cause. See, in UP and all, there used to be 17 hours, 14 hours. Now also,
sir.
in many places like which are not developed in India, there is a high amount of load shedding. And in
Yes, sir.
order to
Yes, sir.
avoid this load shedding, we can incorporate. Now also, our country is not that, although we are teaching smart grid and all, there are many
Yes, sir.
places in India which the
When load shedding is
electricity has
occurs.
not yet reached. Even in Kerala, if you can find, there might be some places. I don't know, but
Oh,
here in the northern part of India, there are many places where the electrical energy is not yet reached. Okay.
okay.
So now, in order to do all this, okay, in order to do all this has to be achieved by the information flow between devices. So what will be these devices? What devices do you think would be the information flow? So this information flow, okay, this information flow between the devices, information flow between devices such as, what are the devices? I have already discussed with you. Can you tell me some of the devices that come to your mind? See, the
Sir,
primary
I
device is your smart meter, right?
yeah,
Your smart meter, I
correct,
have
correct.
taught you also the smart meter. Okay,
Sir.
smart meter. Okay, then you have various appliances like you have a refrigerator, which sees this five-star rating. It will consume less power and all. So your
Yes, sir,
smart
yes, sir.
appliances. Okay, so these are the devices, smart appliances. And then you have nowadays you have the auto rickshaws in electrical vehicle also, plug in India also you have plug in electrical vehicles. Okay, plug in
Oh, okay.
electric vehicles. Okay, this is not much relevant with Indian scenario as of now, but the developed countries are already having the smart grid and energy management systems, wherein you have worked on one of the energy management system, that is the battery energy management
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
system. So this is the energy management system. So battery energy, like in your project, you have checked the battery. Okay, what is its state of health?
Sir.
Okay, what is its state of charge?
Sir.
Okay, state of charge. State of charge. Does it work in partial state of charge? Okay, does it work
Got
in,
it.
so there are many things. Okay, so what
Okay,
it
sir.
does is that this Zigbee alliance, okay, has
Yes, sir.
basically established a liaison with home plug home plug power alliance. Okay,
Ah,
so this is how it is done. The Zigbee
yes, sir.
alliance has established a liaison between sorry, with the home plug. This is the home plug power alliance. Okay, what does this alliance do? Okay, see, what we will do, how it is done. This is done in order to create a Zigbee smart energy. This what it does is that what this alliance does, what it does, it creates a smart energy Zigbee profile. How it creates, I'll
Okay.
explain you. It creates a smart energy Zigbee profile. Nowadays, you can see, yeah, if you are in your office also,
Yes,
suddenly
sir.
you have forgot to switch off your AC. You send
Ah,
a message from your mobile phone, switch off my AC, or you have forgot to,
ah.
like, smart lights are there, although you are 20, 30
Basically,
kilometers away.
incorporation of IoT.
Huh? Yeah, so that is basically Internet of Things. Okay,
Correct.
so how does that Internet of Things primarily work? So it works on the basis of a new version. This new version will be IP based basically. It
Ah,
so this is done with respect to the this new version that it has formed is is this new
yeah.
version is internet. IP would mean internet protocol based.
Yes.
So this is the IP based version, and it will include, it also includes features like support for Mac. Mac I had explained you yesterday. Can you tell me what does Mac represent? Huh? Can you tell
Sir,
me?
what second repeat it? I can't hear you. So
I had
what?
explained you about the Mac. Can you tell me what does Mac stand for? Hmm?
Sir, Mac is basically
Memory.
your, sir, one second. Um,
See, Mac is what, memory address?
uh,
Hmm?
sir, memory access control.
Yeah, exactly. Good. So you are remembering nice. So this is the memory access control. And what about the PHY? Hmm? So we have a parameter basically that is represented in the radio frequency control when I was explaining you about the radio frequency control. So in that I was discussing about the wireless personal area network. So in that I have told you that different local metropolitan networks are being established, and we have different task groups, and we will be utilizing Zigbee with a particular IT system. So then came the part of the physical layer. So when I was discussing about the physical layer, what it does, the physical layer, it basically transmits and receives data wirelessly. Okay,
Okay.
the physical layer, PHY, it
Yes, sir.
the PHY, the PHY, physical layer, PHY, it
Yes, sir.
transmits and transmits and receives data wirelessly. So if you look at the smart grid, the only smartness in the smart grid is we are knowing the flow of the power, we are knowing how it is flowing. The primary requisites of the generation, transmission, and distribution will not change. Okay, only the
Yes, sir.
smartness with which we can utilize a smart grid, that we have the communication protocol. Just like we don't require an AC at a place, we have an IP address, right? We have
Correct.
connected it with the PLC system, programmable logic controller.
Yeah.
So the PLC system, what it does is that PLC system we can keep and relay there, time based relay, time graded relay, on and off control, that yeah, after 15 minutes or after sensing that there is no for example, on this time and this time, we can pre-program it कि भाई this is not the office hours. Even if we have forgotten to switch off AC or certain things, it will just generate,
It will automatically do it. Yeah.
automatically turn it off. So what happens is that power gets saved. So for this, the number one thing would be have the activation and deactivation of the radio transceiver. And the other thing that the physical layer should consist, it should consist of energy detection. So we should be knowing within the current channel, and what the channel in which we are going, and what are the link quality indicator involved there for receiving. See, basically this information, it is received in form of packets, virtual packets. Okay, so the link quality indicator or the LQI measurement. Okay, there's a term called link quality indicator. Okay, so I'll say that the second point here would be energy detection. And this energy detection, how it is made possible? It is made possible within the channel, within the current channel. Not the current does not mean I current. Current means the presently operating, present. Okay, channel means the medium. Channel is like the part of the network architecture, right?
Got it, got
There
it.
is
Yes,
the
sir. Yes.
network architecture. After that, in the network architecture only, we have channel based upon your frequency ranges. We have these channels frequency ranges, and based upon your frequency ranges, we have different types of. Okay, after that, we have these communication. In the communication part, I told you about the Zigbee part. Then the Zigbee part, how does it do control with the help of the? It can also involve the MAC address and the physical address. Now, in the physical address, what it is divided into five parts. First part is your activation and deactivation of the radio receiver. Second part is your energy detection. Third part is that once you have detected everything, you have to clear it. Okay, clear the channel assessment. And once it is done, then you have to decide like on which frequency it will operate. So you have to decide for the channel frequency selection. And finally, data transmission and reception. So I'll write down. Can I go to the next page? Huh?
1 second, sir. Just writing it down.
Yeah, no issue. You write it down. Write it down.
Sir,
I'm
right
at
now you said
about.
you're at home. Where at
Huh?
home?
Yeah,
In
yeah,
Bangalore.
yeah. I'm at home.
Sir, is in Bangalore or Jammu?
No, no, I'm in Kashmir. Hmm. Yeah, tell me.
No, sir, just ask. You said you were going home, so.
Ha ha ha. I told you now I'm going home for previously I was working there in Bangalore. After that my mom expired. So I came here to nearby college in Jammu. I'm basically from Kashmir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I can give you a lecture tomorrow near Apple Orchard also. Okay.
Sir, yeah, you can say, sir, can you take photos, sir?
Photo I'll send you. You know, the incidentally what problem has happened. This is a mountain. See, I live in a city only. This is a town only, but there's a mountain going on over top there. There is a leopard who has
Leopard.
led astray, and he was just roaming around in my compound. So
Oh,
in our Wi-Fi, I just captured it, like in my phone. This thing, na, what is it called? CCTV camera. I can send
yes,
you
sir.
that also. So now I have
Oh,
incorporated with the wildlife. That is the reason I have come over here, and they have left a trap, and inside the trap there is a sheep. So the leopard is very
oh,
smart. He is not getting captured. So I can make a documentary. Okay.
National Geographic time, sir.
Huh? If I
National
have
Geographic.
good, but it's very dangerous here. I'll send you the photograph of the leopard after the class gets over. Like he's just looking at my home from my neighbor's compound. Actually, in my neighbor's compound, they had lights open. My father says we should close the lights. In my camera, only the leopard's eyes are visible, so you cannot figure out. But in his
Okay, okay, okay,
camera,
okay.
everything is visible. You, sometimes we can travel. Come over here. I have been to that place. I can send you the photographs. No issues.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
So
I haven't been to Jammu. I've been to Leh, but not not
Ladakh.
Jammu.
My father was in Ladakh. Ladakh is also a good place, but it is a cold desert sort of.
Yes,
There
sir.
is nothing. See, Jammu is also a hot place, but the place to visit is this Kashmir. Okay, you have to go to this. If you have not visited Gulmarg, uh,
No, sir, not Jammu.
Pahalgam, all the films you see the Shah Rukh Khan's that what is that movie? So with Anushka Sharma is that shot in Gulmarg, and that
Oh,
Bajrangi Bhaijaan, it is in Pahalgam. So the part of Pakistan where they're showing. I don't know whether you watch Hindi movies or not.
I
So
do, sir. I do.
yeah, in that it is there. Anyways, so the physical layer, okay. So physical layer.
Yes, sir.
Can we move to the next slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, I do.
Yeah. So I'll send you. Don't worry.
Yes,
What happened? Yeah. Sometimes it will. Yeah. Where it went? Share. Are you able to see?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Whiteboard. Why I have to share so
So
many?
the white side is visible, sir. Visible, sir.
Okay. It is visible, but why I'm not able to? Okay. Yeah. This is the problem.
Sir, so can you write something so I can see this, sir?
Yeah. I have paused share. That's why I was not able to write. Now I have to resume share and I have to. Now it is visible, right?
Yeah, yeah, I can write. I can see it.
Yeah. So this physical layer is divided into physical layer. Physical layer is divided into five parts. Part number one is for your activation and activation. It's role, not physical layer has roles are activation and deactivation, and then the second part here would be the energy detection part. The third part here, how does it do is it does this energy detection by the use of the link quality. There is link quality indicator. So this quality indicator, what it does is that it receives basically information. It receives information in form of
Packets.
What are the packets? Can you tell me in form of packets? Packets are the virtual. See,
Sir, packets are the way that the messages are or information
yeah,
is
yeah. So
sent.
the analog signals or the analog communication with the
Sir.
8421 coding, like computer will only understand 0 and 1.
Of
Computer
course.
understands in the form of bits and bytes. Okay.
Of course.
So, so we convert the information in terms of bits, in terms of zero and one value, and we transmit that information only. Okay, the LK is, see, basically what it will do is that once it has received this, the measurement would be implemented with the help of a receiver, that is the electronic device. Okay,
Okay.
this after receiving of message, receiving of message, okay, what it does, it is implemented, it is implemented with help of, implemented with help of, with help of electronic device. Okay, this is what it does, electronic device. And in the electronic device, in transmission reception, there would be a case of signal to noise ratio will arise, because see, all that we are transmitting, there is a lot of medium air is going there. Okay, and it is getting transmitted in free space, so we need, it's not a wired communication, it's a wireless communication. So there would be a signal to noise ratio estimation, or and so for this we have, the IEEE team has combined, okay, all these methods, and the IEEE team has the IEEE has combined all the, all the issues, and and has set a framework, namely, this framework, namely, I'm writing, namely IEEE 802.15.4, in the year 2006 they have done. Okay, so earlier also there are various frameworks that IEEE has done. So this standard does not basically dictate how the LQA parameter should be used, but what it does is that how the transmission will happen. So once it has happened now, then after that we need to retransmit, re-interrupt. For that, we need to clear the earlier assessment. So we have
Okay.
in the energy in this layer, the another part function is to see, once you have written a program, you have to write an X program. So you simply write clear screen or something like that. So here also, clear channel assessment. Once you have done it, clear the channel assessment, what it does is that it enables the carrier sense to sense multiple access. Okay, multiple, because there won't be one message that is getting sent. One message like,
Correct.
okay, there are in one is from Kerala to Jammu, Kerala to Bangalore, Kerala to various other parts. So you are
Yes, yes.
sending multiple messages at a time. So what it does is that it will help clear channel assessment. It will enable, it will
So that,
enable.
so that uh, instead of just clearing it, it'll also be storing the data, right?
Ah, yeah, no, it will be enable, it will enable carrier sense multiple, once the information, yeah, it will store, definitely it will store in a memory, right? It will
Sir.
store, see, but see, in the smart meter there is memory separate. If you look at the smart meter, there's a memory card installed inside the smart
Okay, sir.
meter. You can just put your pen drive and get a data log,
And
like
get the data.
depending about,
I
like
got it.
for 30 days. Okay, everything you can, but
Yeah.
when it is processing, it is okay, this information, see, what happens is that, suppose the smart meter 60 days data is set, it goes to
Hmm.
the feeder. After 60 days, it automatically needs to clear it. Otherwise, there would be huge amount of memory. Now your memory
Yeah, yeah.
card or
So basically,
everything.
it'll
So you
just
have to,
relocate
after some
the
time,
data
yeah.
over it.
So after some time,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to clear this data. Okay. To
Correct,
enable
correct.
carriers, but at the same time, it will enable carrier sense multiple access, and with multiple access, you should not get collision. Okay, like I was telling you previously,
Uh,
with collision avoidance, with collision avoidance, this is its physical layers part. And then after that, you have the fourth part, that is your channel frequency, channel frequency selection, channel frequency selection. What are the various, see, channel? There are various channels. The bandwidth, that bandwidth would be there now. So you have this channel. So you need to select. Okay, this bandwidth I will use from Kerala to Jammu. The other bandwidth I will use from Kerala to Ladakh. Suppose Kerala to Bangalore. So you have to select a particular bandwidth to send these messages. Like when aircraft is moving in the air, it, if it is moving at a speed of 800 and 900 kilometers per hour, so it is not physically possible for the pilot to avoid clash. It is not possible
Right.
because at that speed you cannot like sense it. It's, you're going at a
हाँ.
supersonic speed, or an air jet
Correct. Yeah.
jet is flying. In that scenario, what happens? You are being governed by the air traffic controller, and he is sending you
Yes,
the
sir.
message. And from therein, he is sending you the frequency range. This is the range. This is the layer. Okay, in which you have to move. Not above that, not beyond that. If you miss the air
हाँ.
traffic control, there have collisions happened in the past, and the mistake was only the air traffic. The information reception and detection was not in a proper format, and there was collusion. So that's why we need this, particularly, what do you say, data transmission and reception. Okay, channel frequency selection is needed because we need to select the particular frequency. Now we cannot send same messages on same frequency. If we have to transfer the information from Kerala to Jammu at 1000 hertz, we should not send the same message at Kerala to Bangalore at 1000 hertz.
In
Otherwise,
1000 hertz. Yeah, yeah, of course.
we have to send it at 1050 hertz. If we send at the 1000 hertz also, then the channel, clear channel assessment will have no role to play because it cannot, it can only access multiple access with collision avoidance, but it cannot avoid the collision if you have sent at the same frequency. It has
Same
got
frequency. Yeah,
no
yeah.
option.
Correct, correct.
Okay, it has got no option to do this. Once everything has been done, then there would be again the first thing was that activation and deactivation. Then you have the process of further you have to transmit the data further to some place or receive the data. So this is how the physical layer works. The final process is to further, actually the thing is that in the books what is written now, you cannot interrupt it, like, because you don't have the technical know-how now how it is going.
Yes.
So I give you live example so it, like, you understand in a much better way. Data transmission and reception. But the question paper you gave me once, right now, and the
Yes,
other
sir.
part net IP. Okay, the question in that IP is also correct. I will not say it is wrong, but
Yes, sir.
technically is it possible? Now
See,
that another question. See, you are also having logic. If you are not mentioning the base value and keeping all the other values in per unit, then how it is possible, yeah, to calculate that error if no base is mentioned? Is there any other formula? There is no other formula. The fundamentals are not changing. Fundamentals always remain same. So in that problem, the base value should be mentioned. I feel. What do you feel?
no, correct, sir. Obviously, it has to be
Uh,
measured. Or they should say that you have to assume the value.
or assume the values, or you should. But assumption is also not correct. Yeah, they should give the values, right? Assumption. Then
Yes,
I will say
correct.
10 kVA is one per unit. Then it will make all hodgepodge.
Take whatever.
Yeah, okay. But yes, then okay. Now you have this main physical layer parameters. This is been also specified by an internet protocol. Okay, this is also IEEE has given a protocol for this also that I have mentioned you. That is IEEE. This is given in the form of IEEE 802.02006.
802.15.
So this is the protocol they have given. Now many aspects of this physical layer, okay, which cannot be fixed by standard and should conform with local regulations. So, see, all the things cannot be like uniformly fixed. So, you have different regulating authorities over the globe. So, these local regulating authorities, five main local regulating authorities are there. Five main local regulating authorities. So these regulatory authorities, one is the European Telecommunication Standard. Okay, European Telecommunication Telecommunication
Uh,
Standards.
wait, sir. What do you mean authorities? Like, are they just like IEEE, or do
No,
they
no, no,
make their
no,
own
no,
protocols? Or
no. See, they have their own protocols. Now, now, see, like the major power, see, in India, like we have power grid. Okay, Indian power grid is controlled by what is that called there? PGCL, Power Grid Corporation, PGCLI, Power Grid
yes, yes.
Corporation Limited India. So, which is controlling the major grid, northern grid, southern grid, western grid. Similarly, if you look at the world, these there are different bodies. IEEE has standardized, okay, like in the physical layer, we'll be using this protocol. But then there are some local bodies also, like your power system is a large interconnection. Now, if you look at the European system, the European system is having no boundaries in power also. Like they are having a common currency euro, right? Now, if there is some power deficiency in Germany, it can be supplied by London. The power lines there are the transmission and generation are connected and distributed in such a way that they are interconnected between the entire European continent. But in our Indian subcontinent, we have a separate system, right? For India, it is different. Bangladesh is having different. Pakistan, there is no interconnection. Okay. So these are the bodies that will also be having, okay, a physical layer, okay, which will be okay, which will be okay comparing this, the standard with this. So there is Association of Radio Industries and Business in Japan. Similarly, there
Okay.
is these are the five essential which are like majority of the grid, the majority of the power supply in the entire world is being governed by by this. They are definitely following this protocol, but they have their own agreements and own terms, own billing, own things. Everything is there. So the this IEEE will act as a base, right? It will act as a base. So when they are dealing with their actual value, this needs to be multiplied with this base. Okay. So European will have a different actual value. Japan will have a different actual value. Like suppose India has a different currency. Japan has a different currency. So if you have to establish the currency of different countries, so how do you establish? You establish with a single base. Like India, you establish with dollar. So Indian 80 rupees is $1. Pakistani some 170 rupees is $1. So
Oh,
this is like one. Now IEEE protocol is this. Okay, for the physical layer. But whether it is exactly like the physical layer in European telecommunication standards, no, it can be half of it, or it can be the same.
alright.
Okay, similarly, are you getting my point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is like that. Okay, European telecommunication standard